Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to On the Record with Tammie and Tempest. Episode 1, Find Yourself. We would like to welcome the multi-award-winning singer and songwriter and also actor whose music is described as timeless for the hearts. Coming to you live from London, UK. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Leyton Benta.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
Hey, I'm feeling really great on this end, and I'm just, really pumped. I'm excited. I thank you for having me on this interview today. It was really a privilege, really.
We're very honored to have you.
Thank you so much.
How does it feel to be on today?
Honestly, it feels very humbling. I feel very empowered right now, and
Guys,
I'm just looking forward to sharing a good word with everybody.
We're on. There's 7 watching.
Yeah, I feel good. I look forward to sharing a very good word, of the journey of love with everyone today who's watching.
Well, we're happy to have you. So we've got Florida, Los Angeles, and then you're coming in from London. How exciting.
I know. It's just amazing. The virtual world these days, we can just connect anywhere on a screen. That's where technology is going these days. It's crazy, but it's amazing.
We're having a little bit of a lag time. So if one of us can't ask a question, the other one's going to. So
that's fine.
Yeah, tell us about your new album, Find Yourself, when it comes out and where we can find it.
Sure, no problem. Well, let me just actually zoom up. So this is the album CD right here, Find Yourself. So this was an album very deep and very personal to my heart. It was released on February the 1st, 2020. Now, just to give a description about the album so that everyone can get a feel of this journey, it defines the unraveling of soul suppression, invigorating minds and spirits of the hurt through love and self-devotion. So it defines overall the awakening authentics of empowered intimacy. So on this album, there's a song for absolutely everyone. There's 7 songs on the album, soul, R&B music. And I felt it was important to highlight sensitivity, as I felt there's been so much turmoil in the world, whether it's music industry, any other industries, and just the world. And I felt as an individual, I wanted to represent people of the world and bring a new foundation of my own so that we're able to raise the vibrations. So this is actually available to find on all music platforms digitally, where everyone's able to either stream, purchase, and also, as you can see, there's a physical hard copy CDs that I would actually personally sign for those who would like to have it in their cars, their stereos, at home, you name it. And honestly, it took about a good couple of years to get this album going, to get it released, because it was very important for me with my product, with what I give unto the world, because once you give it out, you can't get it back. So what I wanted to put in was knowing that, okay, is it going to impact the world rightfully and righteously? That was important for me. So this album, I only pray that it continues to bless furtherly more people, as much as it's blessed many already. So I hope many who watch this feel blessed.
Yes. Well, I definitely want a signed copy. I have listened to all the songs, and I just love every single one of them. Each one is different. One will make you cry, one will make you laugh, one touches your heart. They're all amazing, and you have an amazing voice. They're inspirational, and I just love them. I really do. Your song Find Yourself, which is the title of the album, what made you title the album after that song?
Truthfully, Find Yourself is a constant transition that everyone is finding within themselves. Now, every day every day everyone's always finding and discovering more about themselves as beings, and discovering about life, discovering about greatness. And and I felt Find Yourself was universal. It's something that we all yearn to consistently find, but I wanted to be a reason, to be a vessel of light and love, so that people have that urge and that hunger to get within themselves and to discover more of their true powers that we have as beings. So the reason why I love to sing is to enhance the world. So there's no more segregation, but only speaking life. So that was the upliftment of why Find Yourself was perfect. Intuitively, I felt this is going to raise a whole different vibration in the music industry.
Yes, and awareness that we're all exactly alike and we're all equal. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be segregation of anyone.
Absolutely, 100%.
I agree. And your song "Secret Heaven" pretty much describes how every man feels on their first date with a woman of their dreams. So do you think that they're going to be able to relate to that song?
Plenty people. I believe many people from different ages, races, and backgrounds. Because why I written that song was it was for mental stimulation. Now, anything to do with about physical love, but there's something much bigger than physical love. And I saw it as being able to make love to someone's mind, right? And because when you're able to tune in realms that many do not understand, and don't tune into, you're able to actually build on something on much more solid. So when you build on a foundation much bigger than yourself, and you're able to into the soul of the companion that you see, you're able, it's like in its own form of way, that's what it would make you want to do. It would make you want to unravel and tell someone, you know what, take your clothes off, because you're making love on so many realms than just physically. And that's why I feel it is its own making love form. So that's why Secret Heaven is somewhere where we are here to show, even ladies and men out here, that love truly is real, and it's the ultimate form of expression, and we all yearn for love. So I wanted to build that projection.
Exactly. Tell us what inspired your song Something's in Life.
Whew, wow. Well, all of these songs are very personal, and Some Things in Life, there's a lot of people who go through years, relationships, and sometimes there's been people who haven't experienced relationships because they have fear in terms of being attached, or being of building that solid connection, because a lot of people fear to hurt, and people have been on a journey, everyone's been on a journey. So this song actually was about myself, but it's also universal for other people who know that there is someone out there listening, that will return the love that you'd give to them. So it's like, other than you're giving so much of yourself, there's someone out there who's here to to connect the puzzle. But sometimes not everything works out the way we want it. So sometimes the universe will plant you and put you in a position so that it will grant you who you need, other than who you want.
Right.
So Some Things in Life is a very intimate, very fragile song.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. Tell us about your song, How Many Times, and what made you write it?
Whew, how many times I've cried. That is a very personal one too. It does definitely come from, heartbreak of my own previous, in the past, relationships, of course. And it really just showed me a lot of clarity about, different realms. Now, what I mean by that is, with How Many Times, when you have so much love to give, when you have so much to offer that is actually sacred and sincere, and when it's given to someone of another individual who have never experienced love, or who have been through a turmoil amount of things in their own journey, sometimes they will overlook of what they know they needed. And then the person who had it all to offer ends up being, you end up receiving the hardship other than being received the way you were supposed to be received. Now, and because it dismantled myself in so many ways where it almost broke me at one point, I had to look at it as a symphony where, okay, many people go through it every day. Many people go through different scenarios. So how can I be able to put something in a different perspective for people so that they're able to build a healing of their own much more sooner than basically going through years questioning,
Right.
Exactly.
So
And self-doubt.
exactly. So how many times, it pretty much is very self-explanatory for those who, who glue their ears to that. It's a symphony.
And so tell me, your song, It's Too Late, relates to everyone because we've all had a broken heart at one time or another.
Oh, okay. Yeah, It's Too Late. Another heartbreak one. Now, with that one, okay. So once again, it elaborates off how many times. So when you keep receiving more hits for actually trying to save another person's soul from basically sinking underneath the water, I felt with this song was enough for me. I know my worth. I will not settle now. I will, it's like you've tolerated so much, but now this is the speak on out part, and I'm claiming my insanity back. So, because we all sometimes can be in relationships, right? And just take it on, even though you shouldn't be treating me a certain way, or you being treated a certain way. Respect goes a long way, both
Right.
man, both women. But at the same time, I felt with that song's it's like a good kick. It's a good kick to basically lift people from being depressed.
Right.
So that was the inspiration with It's Too Late.
Yeah,
Love
and
it.
when people are depressed, they draw themselves to music, and to songs to try to help them, get out of it. And songs like that, can help them get over that quicker. So
Absolutely, 100%.
Your song that was dedicated to a relative that passed, No More.
Ooh,
The heart
yeah.
of everyone that listens to it. It did me. Tell us about that.
Whew. Okay, all right, this is getting the water where it's coming today now. But honestly, No More was a song that I written for my granddad. God rest his soul. It was about, at least coming up to 2 years now. It's hard to believe, of his death. I don't believe, with the results of what was received was actually accurate regarding, I'm not really the one for hospitals, and because a lot of people can really actually lie about a lot of things and restrict information. And I felt there was a lot more to the death than what was actually said. So here's the thing. I written that for him, and that was for a funeral. But I wanted this song to be on Find Yourself album, because every day everyone's losing a loved one, and I felt, especially within these fragile times for many people right now, and I felt this song, it's perfect. It fitted well. I wanted to know that I had a memory to share, that other people can have a memory to share of their loved ones that they've lost out. So that's why No More, once again, it was a very intense process writing it, because I actually written it in one day. I had that all written in one day, because I knew that this song, you're here to celebrate someone who actually has left a good cause for many other people, and I wanted to pay that respect forward. So I love him very much, and God rest his soul. I hope many people be blessed and touched by that song too.
I love it. Yeah, and it's interesting how music, is healing, right? Like you're
Oh,
sharing your emotion and your healing process through this time, and that you're giving it to other people so they can do the same thing. It's just, I love it. It's magical.
it's
So
so cute.
yeah, I mean, so your song that you dedicated to disabled children, Chrysalis Smile. So that
Oh
one's
yeah.
really special too,
I love that one.
because disabled children are these amazing people that a lot of people don't talk about, right? Or they, I know at one point in time it was taboo or something like that, but they are such
Mm,
amazing people that this song brings the love back to where it's supposed to be,
that
instead of
was
like
important.
looking away from it. We love everyone.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. And I felt special needs overall have been overlooked for years. I felt that society has a big toll on a lot of turmoil, right? So like I wanted to speak out for those that couldn't. I wanted to actually break the norm and break the mold of how I felt society was manipulating souls, and that's why, I needed to do a project like this. I needed to highlight children. I needed to highlight youth of different ethnicities, whatever way they're made. I never see it as a form of disability. I see it as the only disability is someone with a bad attitude, you know.
Yes.
So that's
Yeah.
why I felt I needed to make a record for it. I needed to do a visual for it because I want people to see, I want people to imagine other than just listening to a record, right?
Hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I've always been about humanity. It's always been a big thing for me when it came to myself as a man, myself as an artist. It's never been about money for me. It's never been about materialism world. It's never been about things that didn't matter. It always been about substance. It has to mean something. It has to be able to heal people with me. So, and that's why my journey got overlooked so many times for years, because sometimes there's a lot of people in the world that aren't ready to embrace because they're not mentally there yet, you
Right.
know. But at the same time, Chrysalis Smile has actually, it's made a lot of children smile. Thank you. And it's, a lot of families have been blessed, different parts of the world, and it's just an honor. And honestly, it gets me emotional every time talking about this song because it's, people don't realize that children are the future. They
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah.
And
100%.
and that's why I felt I had a responsibility to share. So Chrysalis Smile it
Well,
is its own magic.
and yeah, and every child plays a part, no matter who they are, no matter how they were brought into this world, or where they were brought into this world. Like everybody plays a part, everybody has a voice, and that song really shines light on that. So thank you.
Exactly. No, it's a pleasure.
Hmm. And anyone that wants to hear his music, it's on YouTube under Leyton Benta. If you want to purchase the album, it's leytonbenta.com. Go there and get it. It's amazing music. And with such
Thank you
a
so much.
you're welcome. With such a beautiful voice, I have to ask, what first sparked your interest in singing?
You know what, you're gonna laugh at this one. Okay,
Uh-oh.
so what actually sparked the interest? Okay, here's the thing. I was forced to be part of a school choir at age 6. That's how I got started, because it's crazy because at age 6, I was it was for a school Christmas concert. Actually, it was actually around this time, December. uh, and it was a song called In the Bleak Midwinter. And that was the song. They were trying out different students for different parts in the song. So then there was a teacher who said, okay, give Leyton a lead. I'm like, what? a lead? A lead? So I was like,
Okay.
I know. And here's the thing. I loved music. I've been around good music and I loved melodies, but I didn't know I didn't know I had anything within me to shine regarding singing. But it took being in an uncomfortable position, which I was very, very nervous, by the way. And you know, because I didn't know what to expect. But when I was given the lead, and you know, there was the words, and I was reading and singing, there was something that felt good. But I was shocked. But at the same time, everyone stopped and looked at me, and I thought I did something wrong by how they was responding. You know, and I was thinking, what did I do? You know, I didn't know what I did. So then, but there was something fulfilling I felt within me by just, you know, just coming out of a shell that I didn't realize I was in. So the moment I, you know, delivered, the teacher called me out to a corner, and I thought I did something wrong again, because when you call me to a corner, you know, so then she spoke to me, and then she said, that was beautiful. And I was like, what? I didn't know what to expect. But she gave me some very encouraging words regarding, and this was at age 6. So it was like, she told me, Leyton, it was beautiful, you know, this perhaps, you know, whether this is a career or hobby, you know, or this would be something that you want to continuously do, you'll go far with it. So that encouraged me, and believe it or not, that's what begun the journey. You know?
So we'll have to find that teacher and send her some flowers, because you've given a gift to the world with her inspiration.
I don't even know where she's at. I didn't.
She probably just has wings and is looking at you from somewhere. I think she was an angel. So
it's important for teachers to know this. You know, when they're very small, you know, 6, 7, elementary school, these little bitty words, when a child does something good, it doesn't matter what it is. Words of encouragement can lead them to something very important in the future.
Yeah.
You know,
that's the truth.
It's just pulling aside when they do something good and saying, hey, you know, you did great. This was amazing, or whatever it is that they've done, and telling them that. It gives them inspiration. It gives them the encouragement to keep doing whatever it is that may be their future. So teachers out there, it's very important, you know, to encourage children and give them that little boost when they do something great. Yeah.
Agreed.
So when did you first start writing your songs then?
Age 9.
Oh, wow.
You know what? Here's the thing. I've always been a very, very expressive person. You know, I've always, you know, it's just, I always felt there was so much to give. And it's like there was a pad, there was a keyboard at the time, there was a pen. So I figured, okay, let me play a couple of melodies or something on the keyboard, because I love the keyboard, you know, as well. So when I was playing, there's melodies that I felt connected with. So even at that age, I was talking about the world then. You know, I was like, make the world happy. You know, I was talking about stuff like that. So I just wanted to write from my heart. I didn't want someone to have a sense of control of what they feel I should do, because if it's not internally in connection, then it won't be right when it gets delivered. So I've been exploring, you know, myself, exploring what I'm great at, and I just wanted to do something that was going to be timeless. You know, I wanted to actually be a light for so many people, you know. So
I definitely think you've achieved that.
I stuck with it. You know, I was true to myself. It was so key, you know, and even with writing, you know, it was always a very key element, you know, of any given song.
Yeah, and I find that with artists is that they truly blossom when they are true to themselves and their passion, you know.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Yeah, that's where it started. Age 9. You know, just been.
So is that what first got you into the music industry?
You know what? There's so many ways of looking at that, because because I do everything pretty much on my own, actually, independently, for, you know, very long while. You know, it's the consistency that led forward into the possibilities. You know, because I've had, you know, you receive many no's in life. You have many people who don't see your vision the way you see it, and a lot of people also wanted to change my vision. You know, they wanted
Yeah.
to change my sound or try and make me look somebody else or be someone else. But I've always have had this. I think if you're going to be stubborn about something in life, and be stubborn to know that then you're never going to settle for less.
Right.
When you know you can have more, because when there's so much more to you as a person, then nobody can dictate anything less, you know? So that's why it was a need for me, you know, to be my own and to be able to, you know, work forward to improving myself, you know, internally along with externally. So
Right.
so the development's pretty much built, which opened doors that you thought wouldn't have opened at a certain time.
Yeah, and I 100% hear you. I've heard interviews with other musicians who have kind of, you know, tried straying and tried listening to somebody else and, you know, changing their music or whatever, you know, the industry calls for. And they really felt like they lost
Yeah.
themselves for a moment, you know, but then when they got back to their original passion and their original, you know, themselves and what they felt was their music, they really blossomed again. And so, you know, stick with it. Like, you know, don't let the industry change you
I
into
will.
something you're not. Yeah.
Exactly.
How many awards
100%.
have you won?
6.
Oh, wow.
I won 6 awards for the independent love reinvention journey, and I'm very humbled by all of those awards because, you know, the first award I won in 2016, and that was it was called the BEFTA Awards, which was to do with Black entertainment, film, fashion, and television and arts, and based in the UK. And I won the award for best unsigned artist. And it was, you know, it was an honor because, you know, it was unexpected, but it came at the time it needed to come because it's not like things were just handed to you. You actually understood how it felt to roll in mud, be on a battlefield, take bullets, take cannonballs, take, you know, you knew. So it was an honor to have that in 2016, which then went into 2018, where I won a Platinum Star Award. It was a company called Star People that was based all the way in Miami, Florida. So that was a global online competition, and I came first place out of 66 countries in the world. Which was honestly, it was an honor for me. I didn't know what to say at that time because it felt that, you know, there were shifts that were coming step by step. With the next couple of awards after that was in 2019, which was, it was actually called the DCS Hot Shots and Recognition Awards. So that was like their first annual event that they were doing. And I was awarded Best Singer Act and Best Single Release for Chrysalis Smile, the special needs song, which was, you know, a very, very key moment to my creation. You know, so I'm very thankful to all of those people who, you know, who have voted and who actually awarded me. And then later on in 2019, there was another 2 awards that came, which was called the Legend Award and another one called a Making a Difference Award. So that was to do with giving back to the community with my music and also basically the services that I was giving forward to help, you know, people on the journey. So honestly, it's an honor to have those awards. And as always, as much as I really don't do it for physical awards, but it means something more when you know you've actually have done something, you know, with love. So that's why just when I felt at one point in my journey where I weren't receiving certain recognition, because it has its challenges and it has its waves, but at the same time, I was thankful that those people acknowledged the work I was doing.
All right, so let me ask you
So
this.
I'm very.
Which one of your awards meant the most to you and why?
Okay, well, you know, okay. All right. Well, I think that would have to be the Legend Award because the reason why I say the Legend Award is because other than just music, other than just, I've always been than just my music. I've always been about being an asset and an advocate to other people's lives. So that's why I felt the Legend Award, it impacted me furtherly more, because I felt that, you know what, I'm a voice. It's like I am a voice for the next generation, or just a voice for the people overall, because intellectually there's a lot to bring and a lot to give, through not just music, but yourself as a being. So that's what makes your work make sense to people, because you're in tune with yourself, with where you're going. So that's why I always wanted to cater towards everyone. There was no specific category. It was just break the boxes. I'm here for everyone. You
Right.
know. So it was a very big highlight in 2019 for me. Very.
Explain to us the Love Reinventa, and how it came about.
Okay, well, the Love Reinventor. Okay, so if you think of Love Reinventor, it's like minus the OR, but I put A at the end, so it's like Leyton Benta, the Love Reinventor. So it's like my last name, but it's changed because I'm about love. I'm a man of love. I'm a man of purpose. I'm here to reinvent not only just myself. I'm here to help lift everyone. So I felt, okay, there's no one with that name. I'm claiming it. It belongs to me now. And I felt I always wanted to be seen more than just being a singer. I always wanted to be someone who was an icon. I wanted to, be, if people look up to me, right? I want them to look at someone who's actually sowing good seeds, so that they're basically digesting those seeds, and then they're creating their own form of tree they want to create. So I'm basically diving in the roots, and that's why I felt Love Reinventor. It worked well. It felt real. It was my niche. So I wanted to be able to build my own journey with my own what do they call it? That significance, that niche. So that's what I wanted to build. I wanted to build my Love
your own corner.
Exactly. So yeah, that comes from a deep place too. So the Love Reinventor is what was the love reinvention journey. It's what it's building me every day.
Nice. I love it. So we talked a little bit about your teacher who inspired you to write song, and how your other song was about your grandfather. Now, are there different people for each event in your life?
You know what? Yeah. You know what? Because we're in a walking library, right? Consistently. It's like, oh my God, resources everywhere. You don't need to go to school anymore. It's like that. It's like I feed inspiration from pretty much anything that I observe. But I would definitely say my inspiration with writing, because I've always wanted, once again, I always saw myself as someone who's iconic. So I wanted to feed, I studied the best. I studied the greatest artists before my time. I'll give you a couple of names of example: Prince, Marvin Gaye. Just a couple, for example, because I've grown up on real music that actually was here to set forward a foundation.
Right.
Exactly.
And share love.
Exactly. And I'm a very sentimental man. I generally am. And it's like I want to change the script of the way people are doing things today, because everyone is just going. It's like, for example, someone can work a normal job, for example, and then they're authorized to say this and deliver that. But with me, it's in a different position, because that's not how it is with me. I just wanted to be able to articulate things the way I know that it was necessary. So it really spoke for itself regarding the movement of where I was going with everything.
Nice.
How would you describe the songs that you write?
I would describe the songs as, honestly, timeless. I like it. Yeah, honestly, the reason why I say timeless is because it's once again universal, and I've always said to myself that how you describe music or describe the way you write, I see it as a vibration. You
Mhm.
know, I see it as energy, because energy is transferred consistently but never disappears. So
Right.
that's why everything was all it was a calling for me that I needed to. I always just saw something bigger in myself, you know, and that's why I just wanted to make sure that whatever I do, it has a lot of it's a tree that's, you know, standing up very strong. The roots are thick. You can't break me. So it's like it's that kind of feel I wanted to put within, you know, the music of what I do, because it will sit with people for a very, very long time, even to the day I die. So
Right.
if I'm going to leave something that's going to be with people for a very long time, not for a moment.
I
So
love it. And something
key.
else about music too is different songs that come out in different points in history. You know, some of our favorite songs, it takes you back to that point in history, and it's kind of like a memory piece or a storytelling thing. And,
Yeah,
you know, music has that gift to be able to put you in that place.
it does. It really, really does. And that's the purpose of everything, because sometimes, you know, people need to be in a nice, quiet, intimate space, no distractions, and really just soak in with what it has to offer. Because, you know, because there's so much distractions, people they don't absorb the way they should absorb.
Right.
And that's why I feel with the music and content that I create, it's actually something for everyone, so that they're able to find something within them, so that they're able to embody a new realm for themselves, you
So, how
know?
would you
So
describe the music that you create then?
to what I was saying about the writing,
Yeah,
timeless. But
timeless.
it's timeless. You know, you really can't even put a stamp on things, you know, to be the truth, because timeless really is forever.
Yeah,
And it's like you can have a musician, for example, who's passed away, but the music and the journey and the lessons they've taught will always be there with the
yeah,
person. And even
yeah.
new kids and generations coming up, they'll take something from it.
Yeah, and that is definitely something that can be passed on to future generations. It's amazing.
Completely, completely.
What is your creative process like?
Whew. Do I have a structure? You know what? I couldn't really give myself a structure, but I think there's times where it can be easier. There's times it can be very, very frustrating, because um, I don't think you can really put a structure with how a creative process can be, because it can come from anything. But with me, one day it could be melody. One moment it could be just playing on the keyboard. One minute it can be being out in the nature and sitting down reading a book. It can be so many things. It could be a story that someone has spoken to you about, you know, and even if, you know, so I take elements from different ins inspirations. So what I do with those inspirations is I create with where I know where it's going to lead me, other than planning. You can't always keep planning, because it won't always be in the form of structure that we think it's going to be. Because if we structure, we lose the creativity, you know?
Right,
So
right.
that's why I sometimes have to let things be. I could be going to bed one night and I close my eyes and then boom, there's a melody.
Right.
Like, you know, and then that's when I use that into the song, and then start developing it. It's like, and then words come like, oh damn, you know, and then the production comes forward with that. So that's why I feel with whatever is, I feel, because you're basically a hard drive. You're constantly recording something from events.
Mhm.
So I feel if you have something that's going to be an inspiration, record it. Even if you get a different phone and record what you needed to write or say, do it at that time. Otherwise, you can potentially lose what you felt you had. You
Mhm.
know. So there's so many ways. I can't even put a structure on creative process. It's something that will really expand your imagination.
See,
For
I wish
certain.
I had that, because I lay down and go to sleep, and then my brain's like, oh yeah, this is all 50 things that you forgot to do today. Congratulations.
That's funny. It can happen sometimes. It can. But I just saw it as a thing where I need to feed what I feel is gonna be good for me.
So
So I'm
with
able to do
that,
better for.
you touched on, that music to you is kind of like a vibration and energy that you send out to everyone. So what is
Yeah.
song?
You know what? A song is solely a vibration. That's it. That if you say what's this? What does this define? A song is just vibration.
Hmm.
It's like, 'cause we're all constantly, we're all like electromagnetic spectrum. That's what we have as chakras within us. We've all got it. So it's like people don't realize that they are music. People don't realize that we are naturally made to be creative beings in this one body.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel that it's a vibration, because it's electric. It's electricity that I feel is what vibrates for one soul to create, another anthem for something else. And that's why I saw it as, with the vibration that I define as songs, because it's a symphony for people's release. So I use that to be able to expand realms that people have never have been in their own journeys.
Right.
So that's how I would definitely define it.
For sure.
How do you feel?
Say it again.
When you sing, how do you feel?
I feel extended. I feel that I'm lifting, and sometimes you can be unaware of who you're lifting. You could be out in an audience, you could be out on the street, you could be at home, you could be in your shower, you could be wherever you are. But it's like, I always feel with what I deliver, even if I'm not even thinking about it so much, it's got to be meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be meaningful, because influence, everybody's a sponge. They're consistently taking in the waters, like, ooh, so if they're gonna absorb me or my voice and my vibration, I want people to really feel inspired and enlightened and empowered. So so when I sing, I feel that the world is still. That's how I feel.
So you were talking about the people who have inspired you in your life and your different musicians and things like that you admire. Who would you most like to collaborate with if you had the chance?
Because the thing is, all the people, who I love, the mass majority are gone. They're no longer alive. But for those who are alive, who I'd love to collaborate today, would be Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz. What's the other guy name? Maxwell. He's like a soul R&B as well. It was always artists before my time. Because though that's what my soul yearns for. It always yearns from the past life. So that's why I felt that we would really connect on realms where we can really create a lot of, something very, very powerful.
Exactly.
Well, and something I felt with music is, it's almost like a droplet of water, right, in a lake. And so you have all these vibrations that go out, but then you also end up with other droplets that come from it, right? And so these people are your inspiration that helped you resonate to share the message to the next generation. So it's like their resonate goes to you, and then you carry it forward. And so
absolutely, and that's why I felt, you can't just collaborate with anyone, because they have to really, internally, it's important with where they're at as well, because it will determine whether you are actually going towards the right direction and actually creating, other than destructing,
making bigger waves.
Exactly. You got to be in sync. Other than someone being gifted, it's great. but internally they got to be there too. You know.
Mm-hmm. If you could open a show for anyone, who would it be?
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz.
Oh,
Yep.
gotcha. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah.
He's great. I just feel that they have something they stand for. Legends in themselves. They actually was about the music. They didn't care about how everything was just class. There was actually their own form of soul within, and it was their own calling. So that's why I felt these, Lenny Kravitz and all these other great musicians, they resonated with me. It would be an honor to definitely open up for Lenny Kravitz one day. It would be.
I agree.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
So if you could give one message to your fans, what would it be?
To be a shepherd, not a sheep. And yeah, that's what I would say. But why I say that is because I want to know that they can be their full authentic self. I want to know that that there are no limitations at all regarding life, and also to break the norm, to break the mold, and create a new foundation for themselves. Have this and articulate yourself confidently. This is who I am, other than someone dictating to you, no, this is who you should be. So
right.
My message for the world is you be your own warrior. You've got to be your own warrior, and never settle for less, and know that you can really have anything that you want out of this life, as long as you are internally where you need to be going at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I could say a lot more.
No, that's good. So you're also an actor then too, right? At what point in your career did you start acting?
That was, that was a very similar age to when I was doing the singing days. When I was at age 6, but for me it was a little later with the acting. I'd say that was age, I think it was actually age 10.
Okay.
Yeah, that was age 10 for me. I've been part of, little school plays before, and I felt, I was just very enthusiastic, even how I am on this interview. Woo, so I felt that, it's like every even through going through secondary school, high school, and everything, I always had lead roles, and fortunate enough was to receive them. But I used characters, to be able to, once again, it's the same with singing, uplift, empower others, because I was specific about roles that I chose as well, because I as much as you can be flexible, but at the same time, when you have certain things that you won't do, but you make sure that with what you do, it doesn't take you too far away from who you are. That's very key for me, and I did do it professionally. No doubt I'm focusing more on singing with the career, but acting was also something that, it's always been a huge part of me, and once again, I was very specific about the roles that I took on, but it was a thrill for me, truly.
What character did you enjoy playing the most, and what film was it in?
Okay, you know what? There was a mental health awareness film called Jude. Now, this was actually on YouTube, not my YouTube personally, but someone who I worked with in the past. It's actually on there, and I was playing an angel in it, actually, and it was to do with, there was the angel side of the being, and then there was the devil side of the being. So it's basically the inner voice. So I'm the voice, and it was a wonderful featured role that I had, that was honored to play, because I felt it was right for me. I felt there was something in it that was driving me, because I know that I'm doing something positive for the role, other than, just for an example, because of society and how, how people of Black race, for example, how they can be viewed, right?
Right.
I felt it was different to tell a different story than being boxed into, to the enslavement, I wanted to break and actually show there's a lot more light for me to give. So that's I felt it was important once that role I took. It's actually on YouTube, you know, you can type Jude on there and it would actually come up. And it was a role that I took honor with because it really, I had so much connection towards it. And I knew that mental health awareness, you can't play about with mental health. You
Right.
know, people want to know that you can be the hope for them. You know.
Right. Well, you can be the angel on my shoulder anytime. If you were to have like a gag reel of your life story, right? We all have stories in our life. What would be some of the funny stories that have happened to you on your journey?
Okay. You know, what I'm going to say, right? It may not actually be funny, but,
it's a good one. There's a disclaimer.
But it will be funny in its own way. But it would be funny in its own way, but it's not actually funny, but it's funny in its own way. But okay. So honestly, I think personally with what's the biggest gag reel on the journey so far is honestly being undermined. You know, and what I mean by that is why it is funny in its own way, because when it's like, for example, you can have a cure for the world, right? But many people, because they look down at you, or they judge, or you know, people create so many assumptions, right? That you're below them. And it's like they don't realize that you is actually the reason to be the cure. Yeah. So they undermine, and I've had this all throughout the years of doing what I'm doing. It's like I could say the sky is blue, someone would say it's red. You know, I'm like, okay, well, it's red. But at the same time, I was just like, being undermined isn't a bad thing. You know, I used to feel really, really effective about it years ago, but it's like, I know that the people who have tried undermining and manipulating, I felt, okay, that's fine. I'll let my journey in success grow, and then it will show towards you that, oh wow, Leyton wasn't joking, or Leyton oh wow, Leyton, you actually did some justice in this world, for example. So that's what I find funny personally for myself, because I feel, wow, this does make me laugh, because you know, being undermined, great. Being undermined is a good thing, because you're able to work silently and create so much magic. You know, and that was honestly, I could say that's a gag for my life, because people are starting to unravel and open up themselves in ways that they weren't like that before towards me. You know, it just goes to happen when you keep sowing your seeds. Who said no this, no that, or you're this or you're that? You know, they're going to be only receiving their own karmas, you know, for not actually, you know, taking the time to listen and have an understanding of another person.
Well, and you know, that's where the diamond in the rough comes from, right? Diamonds are made in the harshest, most horrible environment on the planet, you know, through years and years, 10,000 years of pressure, and you get this beautiful diamond that can, you know, be turned into a laser and cut through anything in the world. And so think of that, you know, with adversity comes beauty, and you're definitely proof of that. So
it definitely makes you stronger.
That was very, very cool.
Yeah, definitely makes you stronger.
Definitely.
Completely. It really does.
So what is the most useless talent you have? We've talked about all your amazing ones. Let me know what's your most useless talent. Let me know.
You know, this is a funny one now. All right. Because I had to think about it a bit, you know, but I'm thinking useless, but okay, but all right. So, okay, I'm not that much of a great cook, right? Yeah, I would say that is more, well, I'd say I would need more time regarding focusing on that. Because here's the thing, I've always been focused on my career. I've always just been focusing on, I need to get this off the ground. So I've lacked with regards to the cooking side. I mean, I can cook things, but I would love to be better at it. That's why I felt, oh my gosh, I gotta do better. Yeah,
right.
exactly. But yeah, I hope that counts as a useless talent, you know.
You kind of touched on this a little earlier. Do you sing in the shower, and which songs?
Hey, that's the only place I sound good, so.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Because normally I actually like, I actually sometimes prefer baths than showers sometimes. But at the same time, yeah, I do tend to sing in melodies, and normally I would sing a Marvin Gaye song, distant lover, because that song just, it's just a natural resonance for me, but I sing a blend, there's Al Green, Stay Together, I'm so in love with you, so it's like, it depends on how I feel, but plenty of times.
Yeah, I think you'd sound good anywhere. It didn't matter. Living room, shower, whatever.
Thank you.
So, everybody has their bad experiences that they encounter on their journey that kind of shapes who they are. What would you say is some of yours that have turned you into the diamond that you are now?
Honestly, it came from, in the past, it came from bullying, it came from, prejudice, it came from heartbreak. There's so many things. Even there was a time where it resulted, life and death once upon a time. And I utilize those experiences because it does always shape you. Experiences do shape you in one form of way, whether it's actually in a good way or a bad way. I chose the good way, of course. And I just felt it was important to use my experiences for the good of someone else's life to breathe, so that's why I felt it was important to put it in music, put it in writing, even because like I'm a speaker as well. I like to speak life for people, so it's like, if I'm going to encourage someone, you take experiences, especially from your own journey, so that someone who doesn't know where to start, you've just given them a thought so that they know where to start and how to start, so I used my experiences, as much as very painful experiences, but it didn't destroy me. In fact, it made me, it lifted me in realms that I thought I didn't have. So that's why I had to utilize it in the best ways possible, other than sinking beneath the water. So honestly, experiences, negative or good, but there's many ways that it truly can be the antidote for your next step.
Yeah. Well, and with music, you're reaching a certain, other people that have had similar experiences or same experiences. That's why we love music so much, is because we can, relate to the songs, whether it's good or bad, right? And so having some experiences, you have more passion come out through your voice with your songs. And it's more relatable. It's kind of like acting. You have your method actors, right? The ones that will go and ride in the police car or something to get that experience of what it would be like. So that way, when they are pulling the role, it's not just theory of, what they've seen other police officers, they kind of have that. And I feel that's very true with musicians. Musicians, they say, are like tortured souls, but at the same time, if they weren't, would they be able to really reach the audience that they do from the experiences that they've had and the overcoming of those?
That's the truth. It's the truth. Experiences can be gold. It's what we do with it, whilst we're going through the process.
And your strength and positivity regardless of your experiences, is where you become the inspiration to people to be able to get through their experiences as well. So thank you for that.
It's an honor to do everything. It's an honor to do all of this. It really is, you know.
So let me ask you this. What would you be doing right now if it wasn't for your music?
It's always been my music, but
you're so young, that might be a hard question to answer.
but truthfully, you know, I wouldn't give myself a really department of what I do, but what I'm great at, I would do something to do with youth empowerment.
Okay.
You know, it would be definitely be it's got to focus on the youth. It's got to focus on children because, you know, not many leaders are around, you know, and sometimes, you know, there's a lot of people from their own homes. They don't have families to lift them up because they're always beating them down, you know. So that's why I felt, you know what, I'm great. You know, I'm great with working with kids and working with, you know, the youth. Just to be, it's like, for example, you could be at the front of the battlefield, and then all your soldiers of the kids and the youth are right there. It's like, right, let's charge, let's go. You know, let's do it. So it's
well,
like that.
And you said yourself, the children are your future. Like they are our future, and so you are the guiding light for our future into a new era.
That's my mission. It's my mission. and you know, and that's why it would definitely be something based around the youth empowerment and liftment.
I love it. Love it.
Out of the venues that you've performed at, what was your favorite?
Wow. Okay, so with venues, because I've done a bit of traveling, even, you know, to America before as well, at a few venues. In New York, there was a place called the Sugar Bar, and that was actually based in New York. I'm not sure whether you've traveled or been there before.
I have not been to New York yet.
Okay. But basically, that was a specific venue that I loved. I mean, it was intimate. It was, as much as it wasn't major. It wasn't a big stage, but it was intimate, and it had some of my legends that I loved and respected once upon a time. They actually performed there before.
Oh, wow.
You know, Stevie Wonder performed there, you know. So I was thinking, wow, am I really in this venue right now? So it was very special.
Used to be, yeah.
Yeah, it was so special to me, you know, and I met a lot of good people there, you know, who respected what I did, you know, they felt what I was there for, and it was refreshing for them because they said, oh, he's from London, you know, all of that. but it's like, at the same time, I'm glad that, you know, I connected with everyone at that venue. Because I mentioned that venue because I felt that was a very key venue for me personally. It was, because I had attachment from different great artists, even though they weren't there in the physical, but I felt their spirit was moving through me when I get onto the stage to deliver who I am. So,
no, and I 100% agree with you. Like, it's very important for an artist to be able to stand in the same place that an idol or inspiration has stood, right? Because it's just that connection with the person who touched you so deeply that you could just like, yes, I'm here, I've made it. You know, it's that instant in time. I love it.
It's true, you know. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, is there like a least favorite venue because of something that happened there?
Least venue. Least favorite. You know what?
You can just say, you know, something that happened, maybe.
Something that happened. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Well,
least favorite thing that happened at a venue.
Okay. You know, I'll tell you. Okay, I can't remember the name of the venue, however, but there was a venue that maybe 4 to 5 years ago. Okay, and I remember. All right, I was basically singing to a no audience. It was empty.
Oh.
You know, I mean, there was only a few. You know, I've actually performed to, you know, venues where, you know, felt there was supposed to be a lot of people, but not many showed. But, you know, I've had that experience before, and that's what, you know, the vibe didn't feel right.
It's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
don't get that energy transference, right? That flow to your audience and then from your audience back to you. So you kind of feel like a void.
exactly. And here's the thing, because I commit myself, even if there's one person in the building, I'll
Right.
sing something. I'll make something happen to change songs, you know, to do. It's like you're being spontaneous. It's like, okay, there may be, you know, there could even be tumbleweed coming through the door, you know. See, at least it made you laugh. It made you laugh.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's like that's what I can honestly say was the least venue, because you know there wasn't really much of a turnout at that place, and you know, and it was very disorganized at that time. It was.
So I know this
Yeah.
year has been kind of suppressive to all of us artists, but do you have any upcoming shows planned for after COVID? Like,
I actually, sorry, say that again.
so I'm just like after COVID or even like online shows, like what do you got?
Yeah, sure. I actually have a virtual, it's actually a Zoom event. It's actually going to be my fourth Leyton Benta personal show. So it's going to be, it's actually going to be live on January the 2nd, 2021.
Ooh.
Where everybody, I haven't put out the promotion yet. I'm actually going to put it out later this month. But this will be happening January the 2nd, 2021. It will be 4 p.m. UK time and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will be live on Zoom, which I'm sure many people are familiarized with the Zoom app, the Zoom, how they can get hold of that.
Not they need to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's definitely got to be at that event, which I'll be performing. I'm going to be performing some renditions of some greatest artist covers of my own, and also there will be features of my new album, Find Yourself, that will also be performed as well. And it would basically be, in UK money, it would be £7. So
Okay.
everybody would have to just kind of convert and find out what it would be on their end of the world, so they'll know how much it's going to be for the show. Doesn't cost a fortune, but I felt, you know, it was important to do an event that was going to highlight who Leyton Benta was, where, you know, where nobody is, you know, it's in nobody else's control apart from my own. So
Right.
I'm able to basically bring more of the love reinvention to me, onto other people who, you know, who come onto this event, because it's a global event. It's for anyone and everyone around the world. And I've, you know, I've had 3 successful events so far, and now it's just going on to the 4th. And every event, you're always growing furtherly more. You're always getting better, you know. And I feel it even prepares furtherly more to sharpen your sword. You're always sharpening your sword with whatever you're doing. So
Right.
you can never say, oh, I'm fully there. But at the same time, because perfection, you can never be fully perfect. So
Right.
I see it as it being, it's helping me develop furtherly more as an artist, and it's also being able to be furtherly more effective on the public. So I hope to see everybody there. Please stay tuned for the flyer promotion on my social medias. It would be a privilege to connect with you all. Definitely. It should be great.
I will definitely be sharing it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
How do you feel the internet has impacted the music industry?
Hugely. Here's the thing. Music, as I said, what I was saying about music, music's not the same today than how it used to be years ago. Once upon a time, and I say this like I've been here in the past, there was no internet, there was no technology, you know.
Right.
Everything was, you know, exactly, everything's moving forward into a virtual, you know, technological world. So everybody looks at stats, people look at numbers. It's a number game. So I don't personally, however, look at stuff like that, because I feel it's irrelevant. Personally, to me, I feel it's irrelevant. What I feel is important is impact and content and the meaning behind it all. Because I mean, it has its positives, because you get to promote online, of course, and everybody's on the internet. That's the way of the world now. So it's at the same time, I always make sure that I'm keeping old school elements about me at the same time, other than just resulting fully to everything being online, when there's so many other ways to result to, so that you're able to, you're basically able to reintroduce back the old school ways, so that people don't forget where the substance was laid.
Right.
So, but I do feel the internet has had a big influence. It's having a toll 24/7 on people, and it could either do a service or a disservice depending on what is promoted out
Right.
there.
Yeah, I
You know?
agree.
So I've seen a tremendous amount, and I'm just thinking, did I really see that? But at the same time, I just saw it as, okay, I will use this platform to my biggest advantage, but at the same time, not rely on the internet full time at the same time,
Right.
because people need to feel the physical realm of a being, and also, because nothing, it's like, you're not trying to break the human communication. You need
Right.
the human communication. Everybody does.
Yeah.
So that's why I will always, encourage people to, don't get ahead of what's happening, because the world's transitioning, but at the same time, do not lose the elements of where the foundation was.
Yep, I agree 100%. And so with all of the music and everything that you have out so far, which one is your favorite song to perform? Every artist has their favorite one. Which one is it?
between
And why?
oh, no problem. Okay, so off my album, my favorite songs would be Find Yourself. It would be Find Yourself for me.
Okay.
The reason why it's Find Yourself is because what I was saying at the beginning, regarding what it meant to me, is because Find Yourself, I feel Find Yourself is its new mainstream. I feel with the music and content I'm doing, it's the new mainstream. It's just a matter of it being further established in different other ways. And Find Yourself, once again, it's universal. It touches my heart. It shows you who Leyton Benta is, because once again, I'll just quote some lines from it. The reason why I love to sing is to enhance the world. No more segregation, speaking life into vessels, encircling love and leaving timeless memories. Because I give through all my will, and that is a reason why there's a song to be apprehended for every single soul. As I write, I become the symphony to people's release. So it pretty much is a refreshing to many people's ears, for those who embark on the music, who embrace the music, because this is healing music. It's music it's music to save the world. And if we're going to we are our own superheroes, right? You don't have
Yes.
you don't have to have a cloak on that says I'm Captain Benta, but at the same time, you're basically saying that you are your own superhero. So it's how you conduct yourself for people to feed and know that they can be more than who they are. So Find Yourself, it's huge. It's huge.
I 100% agree with you, especially this year, right? This is the first time in our known history that we have all been forced to stay away from each other, right? We're beings that, rely on each other to grow and learn and kind of like find our own way. And we're not allowed to do that. So we're stuck kind of like reflecting on our own person and like, who is that person? We don't have any outside inspiration other than, musicians and that type of thing. So you are kind of forced to find yourself in a non-traditional way in your own beingness that we usually wouldn't.
It's true. And you know what? I feel 2020, this year has been a year for everyone to learn a tremendous amount about themselves.
Right.
Out of all the years, I felt this has been the biggest year for the overcoming, and that's why, of course, Find Yourself, that's why it's instantly going to grab those in need, knowing that they know they need to receive. That's why you can't reach everyone. That's just a fact. You can't reach everyone. but I know that with what I do and what I give, that is out there, it will certainly reach those who need to be reached.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and usually people are busy, right? They go to work all the time, and then they're just kind of like in the hustle, right? They do the work and then buy a house, buy a car, just that typical like program that we've had. And this year that whole program has been thrown out the window, and so people are like, well, now what's my purpose? Like, now what do I do? And so I think this song is like perfect for that, because you're actually able to I can do something else. Like, I'm still here, I'm not dead, I can still do something. So it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
you really can. You really
Yeah.
can. I think it goes down to, if we feel that, I feel, it's important to not have, for people to not make too much excuses. I mean, yeah, we may be limited with some resources, for example, but it don't mean that we have to basically be molded the way, for example, government or, society and stuff tells you, right, you can't do this.
Yeah.
Everything's all a mental manipulation in this world. So I see it as, okay, because you told me that's the rule, I'll break the rule in a good way, of course. But at the same time, break it, but because this is the truth of who you see come through within these times. Did you still keep elevated, and did you still come forward with what was true to you? That's very, very key.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, you have to be true to yourself, because you lose yourself. You're 100% right.
Thank you.
Which famous musician do you admire the most?
Marvin Gaye, number one.
Marvin Gaye.
You know what, Marvin Gaye, I really relate with Marvin Gaye on so many ways, especially with his sensitivity in his music. And not only that, his sensitivity for the world. He talked about so many subjects, like save the children, and I have a record of mine called Save the Children, but that's on the next album that will be coming out soon. But at the same time, he talked about areas that were way before his own time. And then, because he saw the way things were being infiltrated in the world, right? So this is why I said that, okay, Marvin Gaye's been a big influence, when it comes to writing as well. He actually has, I wanted to be, I wanted to reach everyone, anyone and everyone. So I wanted to talk about areas that I felt nobody spoken of. So that's why, it even helped me as well, and inspired me to write out my next album after Find Yourself. I've already written my new album, the next album
nice.
after this one. Yeah.
You have to come back when you have your next one.
No, I'd love to. I'd love to.
Right. So the world needs Leyton Benta. Why is that so important to you? Why do you think the world will not be the same without your beautiful voice in it? Your story.
Honestly, truthfully, because this is more than music. This is to heal the motherland. Because every day I'm fighting to be the hope through love. And I'm here to, erase the infiltration. Because I'm not afraid, I can't be restrained from giving my life through my world. So that's why I feel one day the world will know that they need me, whether they know now or not, but they will know. And sometimes, especially with the content I create, right, it will be celebrated personally. It would be celebrated more, I would say personally, when I actually leave this world more than being in it. And and I say that with a reason. Now, the reason why I say that is because of it's very authentic. There's truth in the words. There's truth behind the music. And because everything has changed over the years with music, I feel when it comes to my own, refreshing material, it would take the world to transcend and grow for them to embrace what I have already more.
Right.
Because it's going through a transition. So because I am way before my time of, thinking and doing things and how I see the world. So that's why when you're ahead of the time, people still need to catch up.
Yeah.
But not saying that it's not appreciated, but at the same time, it's like it really explains a lot, you know, regarding everything that I've been really working, you know, working very, very hard for since, you know, a very young age, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't leave. You got to stay for at least 75 more years.
No,
Well,
no, that's perfectly fine. Because, yeah, as I said, and
you know what's interesting to me about what you said, you know, artists, right? Artists are appreciated when they're here, and then it seems like they're more appreciated when they're not here, but it's not because they're gone. It's because artists in their own way get us through trying times, like especially musical artists, right? A lot of
Absolutely.
musical artists, like you said, will draw inspiration from the events, from their surroundings, and help us heal through a specific time. And then when they're gone, we're like, who do we find to get us through the next trying time? Who do we find to help us through the next thing? And that's what is so sad about losing an artist, is like, you know, this person helped me get through this trying time in my life and helped me heal through this trying time, and now they're not here anymore. What am I going to do? And so, you know, you guys are so important to growth and being able to get through that. So yeah, you're not allowed to go anywhere for a while.
Oh no! Hey, you know, I've fought through a tremendous amount on the journey just to be true, and I'm always still doing it to this day. Nothing will stop me because I won't allow it, of course. But at the same time, this is why I sow the seeds, and I do all the seeds now than later, because I want to sow as much foundation around, and basically you're leaving an engravement of yourself on the ground already. So when one day, when one person, you know, for example, Leyton's not here, for example, at least I know that I've paved a way forward, and then someone can look at, you know, the writing, and they can look at the, you know, the image and says, you know what, he really tried to speak for the world, you know, and that's what I want to leave, you know. You know, I have no other purpose to serve apart from doing that. You know, it's, if I knew it weren't meaningful, I wouldn't do it. If I weren't willing to do it.
Musicians are in tune with a force of nature that most people can't hear or they can't feel, right? And that's your way of connecting us with that part of nature. You know, David Bowie did a music video before he died, and then he did one to be released right after he died. Like, that's how in tune are, and we don't realize it until we listen to them. And then we also get in tune at that point, and it's just like, it's magical. I think that's why music is so amazing.
Hey, where there's music, there's a moment for everyone.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the best advice that you've been given?
Whew. Okay, there's a motivational speaker. I'm not sure whether you've heard of him. He's called Bob Proctor.
I haven't heard of him,
No?
but I'll look him up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's a much he's a much elderly person. I think maybe in his 70s, I think. But there was a specific line that he said, and I remember searching him up years ago, actually. And then he says, "If I want to be me, I got to be fully free."
Yeah.
You know, and it's and it was just those words alone. I didn't need anything else, because it's like, it's like, if you want to be you, you got to be fully free. It's like, you have to be willing to fly. It's like your spiritual wings are right here. You may not be able to physically see it, but it's actually right here. And it's a matter of, okay, if you, for example, jump off the highest cliff, whilst you're falling, you're discovering. You're discovering yourself, and you're discovering, okay, how it is to feel with, this is the very last moment of your life. What are you going to do? Are you going to extend it, or are you going to descend it? So, and as soon as you discover, you know, you figure out, oh, you're not falling, you're actually elevating. Woo, I can fly, you know? So
Yeah, there is a beauty in the falling. There is, because without falling, we wouldn't learn how to fly in the first place. If you don't take that leap, you know,
Yeah.
you don't
Absolutely.
learn how to fly. So there is a beauty in the falling.
And that's what a
Great.
lot of people need to learn when they are falling. Don't get down, because there's always going back up, you know.
Yeah.
Don't give
Exactly.
up, never give up, you know, and just keep going, because there's always a right back up.
Always.
And if you
Always.
have the positive people in your circle, that's something else too, is if you keep negative people in your circle because they're family or because they're friends or something like that, or you want to fix them, you know, then when you are falling, they won't be there to catch you. But if you keep the positive, amazing, uplifting people in your circle and let the negative people work on their own path until they're ready to like come and join the light, then you will always have people there to catch you and uplift you and help you keep going.
Agreed. 100%. 100%. Really.
I really
Really.
enjoyed this and getting to know you. You are such an amazing being.
No, I thank you very much. Honestly, I was really, really looking forward to this interview with you guys. You know, you're great people, and you know, I appreciate you both very, very dearly. You know, for having me on. You know, just to be able to speak to others, you know, around the world, you know, who embrace this time. And I hope for those who are going through very, very, you know, hard times right now, that this interview has lifted someone. You know, so I'm always humbled. You know, you know, I'm just very, very thankful. I really am thankful to you both.
Yeah, thank you for being a guest on the record. And like I said, anybody that wants to buy his album, if you want, you can hold it up again. Go to
Yeah, just get that.
.com, and you can also listen to his other songs on YouTube on his on his station on Leyton Benta.
And I shared one of your music videos on my Facebook too. So if anybody's curious to listen to his music or follow his YouTube channel, I did share that. So, and all of his links are there. Also, his website is there as well. So,
and we'll be
Thank
posting
you very much.
entire interview on the Smith International Productions page on YouTube as well. So.
Hey, and hey, when you come to Brace, Los Angeles with your beautiful voice, I would love to go to coffee with you.
Well, thank you very, very much. No, it'd be great. It would be really, really good. Before we come off, just want to, if that's okay, can I leave just to leave a few more, you know, social medias, so just in case people are on different platforms.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so everyone can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. If you type in Leyton Benta Legacy, you'll be able to find me immediately on every platform. And to purchase the music, once again, for what you said, it's www.leytonbenta.com/music. And also, you know, there are options as well. Anybody who's interested in inquiring my services, you know, events, shows, bookings, you know, feel free to reach out to LeytonBentaBusiness@gmail.com. It was a privilege, and I look forward to connecting with everyone.
And we'll put the links out there too, and that's spelled LeytonBenta, and then Legacy. So thank you so much for joining us, and
thank you.
Keep being amazing.
No, thank you very, very much. Thank you so much.